the Zimbabwe Football Association, ZIFA, has this week set to hold the annual general meeting where they will discuss the business of the association, and chief amongst them the ZIFA constitution as well as the ZIFA executive committee elections. So in regards to the ZIFA elections, names have started flying around. I'm sure I've heard a lot of names. I know you guys have also heard quite a number of names. I've heard Marshal Gore. He's based in the UK, trying to throw his name into the ring. Alois Bunjiri, a former Warriors player, also, you know, wanting to throw his name in the ring. I've heard the proprietor of Wangu Mazodze is also trying to weigh if he can get in there. I've also heard Andy Hodges saying that, yeah, he wants to try and also be there. And names Twine Piri as well, Walter former chief at PSL, Walter Magaya as well. And I heard from a certain group that Peter Ndlovu is being persuaded by some people to also. So this is what's going on. I know we want to then go on the proposed constitution and just talk a bit on that, but the names that have been thrown around, what's your take?
I think it's always exciting to see that there's a diverse group of individuals who are interested in taking the leadership over at ZIFA. Like, I'm not one to judge before I've heard the manifestos and what their plans are for Zimbabwe football. I think that's what I'm excited about, especially post the AGM as we enter into the election season proper. I want to hear, like right now, you sort of get sensitive, especially in the media space and even on social media. You know, people are already lobbying for whether it's a Gore, Magaya, our colleague Andy Hodges, all these different people, right? But I want to hear what their plans for Zimbabwean football are, and I want the campaign trail to start like that. And then I think we, as members of the Fourth Estate, will then have fiduciary responsibility to make sure that we interrogate those plans, we put the messaging out there, so that at the end of the day, we get the right person to lead our football. Obviously, later in the show, we're going to unpack how excited we are about what's happening on the field of play. But if we're thinking about the long-term future of our game, it has to start in terms of the organizational structure of the football governing body.
I'm going to throw this at you, David, because one thing that these guys are going to meet and discuss are the proposed constitutional amendments. And amongst these proposed amendments, there is one which says that ZIFA presidential candidates should possess at least 5 O-level passes. Yeah, and if approved, individuals without the required qualification will be ineligible to run for the ZIFA post. Is that something that you would support? You're not going to order the ZIFA president, you should have at least 5 O-level passes.
Yeah, I can support that award. I cannot support that as well. Why? I know a lot of people would say, my former footballers, they don't possess those 5 O-levels, but there are a lot of guys who possess those 5 O-levels. Imagine how many of the boys that have graduated now, and so it means it can still fit in the system. And kune vamwe who possess my qualities leader without even those 5 O-levels. And it kune vamwe kutienda kuchikoro chacho and it administration you enroll because of maybe your age and it chikoro chevanhu vakuru, but unongoti my leadership qualities, because what we want
so should it be scrapped?
Yeah, it should be scrapped. It should be scrapped. For me, it should be scrapped.
Do you agree?
I disagree. I think you have to look at, this is not, we're not asking the ZIFA president to come and play football. Yes, exactly. I think what we're asking him is to come and help administrate the game. And I think when you look at, we're not even looking at tertiary education.
So you think 5 O-levels will help somebody administrate the game?
I think it shows a certain level of competence in terms of your ability. Yeah, it shows a certain level of competence, I believe. And I think I don't think it's an extreme standard to have. I mean, basically, even for some of the entry-level jobs across the different fields and industries that we have in this country, it is that standard. So I don't know why we would want to make an exception. Most football players, I think, will have at least that basic minimum. And I think once you get to the point, because remember, as a president, you're charged with then trying to understand the constitution, understand the FIFA statutes. You're supposed to be able to then hire the right people around you. So, I mean, if you don't, no matter how much you love the game or how much, if you're 40,
I think it's a playing experience.
I think maybe that could be a valid argument to say that your experience, not necessarily playing, but your experience working in and around football. Do you get my point? Okay. I don't think 5 O-levels alone should be enough. It shouldn't be enough.
Because 5 O-levels, and in a field,
so maybe they can circumvent that by saying, you know what, if you don't have 5 O-levels, if you have played professional for at least 5 years.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe that could be it.
What do you think? What do you think should we put the... Well, I know you and I don't really go and discuss these issues, but what do you think, you know, as a Zimbabwean, should they scrap that requirement for 5 O-levels? Should they keep it, or they should go the route that this gentleman here talking about, also put in 5 years playing experience at some level, you know, in organized football? You're watching The Couch right here on ZTM Prime. Today we are coming to you from Guchitubu in Glenora. This show proudly powered by Africa.
It's your premier football show, The Couch, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Konapo, Ipapo, pa ZTM Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.